This is my aim. I want to see 20% of people in advertising have a disability. That's probably going to take me for another 50 years, but that's what we want to see.
So you're the founder of is it the first modelling agency to exclusively focus on disabled models?
There are other agencies who do work with people with disabilities, but not exclusively. Like they might have one or two models on their books. And I know in the UK there is another agency who specialises in representing actors. But as far as we know, we're the only agency that reps adults and children, all have disabilities or differences. And the specialism is really modelling, I guess, rather than acting.
I mean, what led you to starting it?
I've launched it with my sister-in-law, Zoe. So Zoe's my partner's sister. We're just having a little walk on the beach and we were just kind of putting the world to rights like you do, you know, sometimes having a good chat. So my background is I'm a social worker by background, and Zoe's a performing arts teacher. So we both kind of worked with people with disabilities or vulnerable people before. And we were really just having a chat about the lack of opportunity for them, how there weren't many opportunities in TV or modelling, and how rubbish that was, and how there weren't really any agents representing talent with disabilities. So, you know, how are they ever even going to have the opportunity to be put in front of casting teams? It was literally just a light bulb moment. It was like, oh, should we set up an agency? And by the time we finished the walk, we just had decided to do it. We'd got it all mapped out and we hadn't done any market research. We had no idea if it was a good idea, really, but it just felt like it was the right thing to do. As far as we knew, nobody was really doing it, which we couldn't believe. You know, this was 2017, so we were kind of like, I can't believe we're at 2017 and disabled people are still facing this massive discrimination. So yeah, we essentially just kind of got home and start doing it that day.
I mean, that's incredible, isn't it? Because neither of you have come from within the same sector, so neither of you have had any kind of modelling agency experience at all.
Well, yeah, we kind of had, because Zoe had modelled, as well as doing her teaching, she'd modelled for many years. And at the time, my little girl was doing baby, toddler sort of modelling, so I'd kind of come across a lot of the kids' brands, and so we knew how the industry worked, but we didn't really have the Rolodex. You know, we didn't have the contacts really to get the bookings in. So that has been hard.
I mean, do you think that's been a good thing, doing something different within the industry? The fact that you haven't already kind of worked within the industry and means that you're basically, you know, inventing the way that you want it to be.
I never thought of it like that. I guess like it definitely would have been easier for us if we had worked at agencies, just knowing, because everything we've had to learn, everything, make all the contacts, learn the jargon. So that would have certainly been easier if we'd had some experience. But then maybe if we had worked in an agency, we would have been jaded and just thought that there would have been no, you know, there's no opportunity. Because this has been the lifelong argument that agencies say clients don't want to see disabled models, clients won't select disabled models, there's no need, you know, we would happily represent disabled people, but the clients don't want them. Yeah, and clients will say, well, nobody ever suggests disabled people to us, so how are we ever going to book a disabled? So it's like a endless circle of both saying, no, nobody wants to see disabled people in media. So maybe if we had come from agencies, we would have believed it. But whatever we're doing seems to be working anyway.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, you're having some phenomenal success and you've got some amazing clients on your book. So how have you kind of gone about getting that work?
So in terms of getting the models, initially so Zoe was obviously working with her performing arts group, so they were the very first models that sort of signed up with us. As well as that, we reached out to sort of local disability groups like Down Syndrome Association, or like I'm based in Sheffield, Disability Sheffield, or just kind of local disability groups. And then in terms of clients, we just picked up the phone and rang everybody, every brand, like Googled every single brand that is out there, and we've just tried to ring everybody we can, try to get an understanding of how the industry works. Like some brands will work directly, so they'll book their models directly, others will go through photographic agents or production companies, so we've had to make contacts with them. From the beginning, it was literally like, oh, let's try and work with Sainsbury's. What's the number for Sainsbury's? Like, we'd literally just ring customer services and go, can we speak to somebody who deals with booking? Like, we'd just ring every number we possibly can, or email anybody that we can think of. And now, obviously, we have a lot of contacts and we do know a lot of people, but we still have to work really, really hard. We've got a lady, my colleague Sue, I mean, that's her main job, is to kind of be selling, really, going out to like finding contact. There's a hell of a lot of discrimination out there still.
What is the reception that you're getting?
Well, it's better than it was. For a very long time, we just were kind of like, what are we doing wrong? Like, people, it's very hard for somebody to say to us, oh no, we're not, we're not going to book disabled people, because they'd come across as absolute whatevers. And they are being like that. So it's very hard for people to kind of say that to us. So what we get is just nothing. We just get no response. And we still do get that. Or we'll get we'll submit people and we'll think, these guys are fantastic. They're definitely going to get this. Like, we put a few guys forward for a very well-known designer brand recently, doing an advert. I saw our guys' self-tapes, and one of them was the best self-tape I've ever seen, like a self-tape audition. Never seen anything like it. It was so good. And he's just they're not interested, not been shortlisted. And there's so many brands that you won't even get to that point. You won't even get to the point where they'll audition people. Zoe and I, we talk about it, like, we go through stages of being like absolutely really encouraged, so excited, hopeful for what the future holds, to huge disappointment, frustration, pissed off, really. The industry isn't moving as fast as what we want it.
Massive problem that you've decided to tackle.
Like, we're just tackling this tiny little part of it. Like, I saw somebody post the other day, so it was actually in relation to Black Lives Matter and the casting of Black people in whatever type of media, fashion or TV or whatever it is. And they said, casting is not the answer. Casting is just a tiny little drop in the ocean in terms of inclusivity, diversity. They were talking about, we need to see Black people being CEOs, Black people across the organisation, Black creatives, across the whole company. So, and we can relate that to disability. We can't do everything, and this is what we've decided to put our focus into. And it might only be like a tiny little part of the bigger picture, but we feel that representation matters. Hopefully there's other organisations that are trying to include disabled people in employment. Like, disabled people face huge discrepancies in employment opportunities. Like, they're so much more likely to be unemployed. But yeah, we don't have time to look at that as well. So we're just kind of looking at casting, and it's so hard. Statistics show that only 0.06% of models featured in advertising have a disability. And if you relate that to the population of people who have a disability, around 20% of the population have a disability. So there's like an absolutely huge disparity. And we kind of feel like in any other working environment, you couldn't so obviously discriminate. Like, it is actually illegal to discriminate like this. But for some, it's kind of like, well, it's media, that's the way it works. You're booked for what you look like, or whatever. This is my aim. I want to see 20% of people in advertising have a disability. That's probably going to take me for another 50 years, but that's what we want to see.
I mean, obviously your job selling your models is harder than a standard modelling agency. Are you kind of finding that you're having to really push the benefits of having a diverse media campaign, for example, onto the client, to almost educate them on why this is a good thing?
Whilst lockdown was on, we held a few like webinars for industry professionals, like casting teams, to really have a think about the benefits, so the economic benefits, the ethical benefits, the creative benefits, all these reasons of why you really should be using disabled people in your campaigns. And Sue, she's doing, when she's calling people, she's trying to encourage people. But on another level, we do just kind of show them the guys that we represent, and show them what they bring to the table, regardless of disability. they have the right look for whatever brand it is. It's 50-50 really. Half the time we kind of sell people on their own merit, regardless of their disability. But on the other side of things, money is important for every brand and every company. You know, they want to make money. They want to make sure that having disabled people in their advertising isn't going to negatively impact their sales figures or whatever it is. So we kind of we have to explain to people what the financial benefit is as well, because that's obviously important to them. So we do spend a lot of time doing that. But then saying that, there are some brands who realise that ethics, having values in their company is important to customers as well.
I think that's becoming more and more important as well, isn't it? As they're becoming a lot more demanding in terms of, and I suppose a lot more selective in the brands that they're choosing to buy from, and they're taking those factors into account now a lot more.
There's something called perfection bias. So consumers are so fed up of seeing the airbrushed same model, you know, the same faces that we're so used to seeing since we were children. You know, we've seen it for however many years. We're so fed up of it now that we just don't even see it. It's just like, we'll just skim past the page, not even watch the adverts, just going in and out the other side. So it's fatigue. But then there's also active rebellion. Like, you'll see these images and just think, well, that doesn't relate to me. Or like, oh, here we go again, just the same image as what we're used to seeing all over and over again. Well, I'm not even going to look at that. You know, I'm not even going to consider that, whatever it is. I'm actively going to rebel against it. So there's a couple of things there. And I think like it's more and more people do want to see values. So like sustainability is important for everybody at the moment. That sort of question, and Black Lives Matter, is on the tip of everybody's tongues. So everybody is interested in inclusion, like the things that you purchase, ensuring that they are more ethically sound. And I think that's just going to become more and more. And if clients are behind on including the wider society, then they're going to be left behind. Yet still brands are just like taking their time with this.
I mean, obviously it needs people like you to make it happen though. So
there's been an argument for such a long time, like, oh, we wanted to cast disabled people, but it's just so hard, we can't find them, no, blah 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 blah. Do you know, like this excuses. So we do make it easier for people to cast disabled people because we're here. The thing is, disability encompasses so much. It's so varied. Like, we've got around 500 models on our books, which seems like a lot, but if you want a variety of disability, it's not like we've got wheelchair users, amputees, people with Down syndrome, people with hidden disabilities, blind people, deaf people, and then wheelchair use, some ambulatory, some people who use a wheelchair part-time, people using wheelchairs for different reasons, people were born with limb differences. There's so much variety in how you are either born disabled or become disabled. That's another thing to think about as well. You can't just say, I want a disabled person. You know, you need to kind of think about who you're casting, what the role is. From very early on, we decided that we were going to put our guys forward for any job that they fit the brief for, regardless of their disability. So if we get a job in looking for somebody to play a mum, a dad, a child, a grandma, a shop assistant, we will put our guys forward for that job regardless of their disability. If we waited for jobs to come in where they were saying, oh, do you have anyone with a disability for this? Then we'd never have any jobs. There'd be nobody would have any work. We were like submitting people over and over again, and casting teams were just like confused by us. Like, why are they submitting a wheelchair user? We haven't asked for a wheelchair user. I think they eventually just got fed up with us and decided to start inviting people in to cast. And they're just really impressed with all of our talent. Like, we only ever get excellent feedback. I think our guys are in it for a different reason to what other models would want to go into this for.
Do you think it's possible to make a living as a disabled model?
No. We would never say to any of our guys, give up your day job. We say it's more of a hobby, an interest, something fun. And at the same time, you're helping the representation of disabled people in the media. There's definitely not enough, well, I wouldn't say anywhere, there's not enough work out there for anyone to be doing this as a full-time job. 1 or 2 bookings per 1,000 bookings for a disabled person. So, you know, no, it's not something they can rely on for their income.
Do they get paid the same as a non-disabled model as well?
Well, we hope so. We want our guys to be on parity with everybody else. If we were ever to find out that that wasn't the case, then we would be unhappy about it.
Well, I think what you're doing is amazing. I mean, do you think that people are put off by the logistical challenges of a photo shoot as well?
Worried about getting the wording wrong, worried about access, worried about affecting sales figures, worried about looking tokenistic. We always say we'll take tokenism. Like, you've got to start somewhere. Somebody is going to be that first token wheelchair user. But one token person is better than zero, because that's just entire exclusion. You can see the value of somebody from when you pull them in that one time. Why can't that equate to ongoing bookings? We work in America, and it's not so much a problem over there. It's a newer country. Everything has kind of been built for access, whereas studios are up 10 flights of stairs down in London, can be anywhere in a building, and even getting to the underground in London is not very good for anybody with significant access issues. We're saying that wheelchair users are only one type of person with a disability. Like, I can't really see that as an excuse. And also lots and lots of wheelchair users are ambulatory wheelchair users, so they can move somewhat. They're not confined to their wheelchair. They do have some movement. Most of the time you get a ramp and you can get somebody in the building. What I would say is that people just need to ring us and speak to us and tell us about what studio space they've got. I mean, at the moment, loads of shoots are taking place outside because of COVID. So there you go, that solves that issue. Castings have always been a problem, because it's like, oh, you've got to traipse down all the way to London, get across London, go to a 5-minute casting, and you're never going to know if you're even going to get the job. But so many more castings are getting done via like this format now. So it makes it easier for our guys to cast and to meet casting directors or doing self-tapes.
So it's all solvable, isn't it?
Yeah.
They've got the motivation. The motivation to do that is there, I suppose. I mean, in terms of like, if you had any advice to somebody who was having a similar brainstorm to you and your sister-in-law, or we're just going to start our own modelling agency and completely try and change the perceptions of the beauty industry, what would, if you sort of had some advice for yourself at that time, what do you think it would be?
I have no idea how we knew we had a good idea, but we just felt like we knew it. It was really helpful for us. I know a lot of the advice is often like, don't try and set up on yourself, don't set up with a business partner, all that sort of thing. But Zoe and I work so well together, so that has really helped us, because we've learned with each other along the way, and we've been able to support each other. We made no money for the first year. We were just working for free for so much of the time. But if you know you've had a good idea, then you really need to go for it. And it's also really helpful if you've had an idea this idea, it pulled in our values and our ethics as well. So it just sits really well with kind of us personally. Like, we're not just doing something random, if that makes sense. We're doing something we're passionately about.
Yeah, a problem that you wanted to solve.
I mean, I don't think we did it like most business people would probably say, like, write a business plan, do some market research, ask around, I mean, we just didn't do that. Like, we didn't
just made up as you went along.
We did, but I think that's it. You've just got to be able to get, like, you've got to be brave enough to go for it, providing you've got a little bit of money to keep you going for 6 months or whatever. So I was working as a social worker for the first 6 months. I was running Zebedee and continued my job as well. So I was like working every single hour. And it got to the point, like, by December, where I was like, I can't do both anymore. I literally have not got enough hours in the day or the night to do everything. I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know if to leave my job. Should I just stop doing Zebedee? Like, which way should I go? And a friend of mine said, you've put so much work in now, you're going to have to, like, go for it, because otherwise somebody's just going to come and steal your idea anyway. For all the work you put in, somebody else is going to come and take it. Since we launched 3 years ago, I haven't had a day off. Like, I've had days when I've not done much work, but there's not been a day where I haven't checked my emails.
I totally relate to that, because my business is 3 years old as well. And yeah. I have not had a day off.
It's almost like you want a day off, but then you can't stop thinking about what you're doing either. So you're just like, oh, I'll just quickly look at that. Like, before you know it, you're sort of working. So it's got to be something you love. It's got to be something that you really feel passionately about.
I agree with that.
Or else you won't be bothered. You won't be bothered
to do it for the money, can you? It's just a really hard grind, particularly at the beginning. You need a good reason to do that, don't you? So
I honestly can't imagine ever wanting to not actually have my fingers in all the pies and know exactly what bookings are going on and know all of the models personally and know all the clients. I just can't imagine wanting to pass that to somebody else either. So
it's getting that balance right, isn't it? It's really
yeah.
hard, especially as you grow, which I'm sure you will. I've got absolute confidence that brands are going to properly get behind this. You want agencies like you to pop up, like you want to have some competition in the marketplace, because it shows that there is a real demand for what you're doing. But then also, I suppose it's quite nice being the only one who's doing it at the moment.
Yeah, something that has happened is that when we launched, we had an absolute influx of models like desperately wanting to join us because they'd had no other option before. There'd been nowhere for anyone to go to. And a lot of the kids agencies now are definitely more inclusive since we've existed, so they represent a wider variety of children, which include children with disabilities. I totally get what you're saying. It's like, we're here to change the industry, and it's brilliant the industry's changing. And at the same point, we still need to continue as a business.
Well, you're always going to have had that head start. Thank you so much.
No, that's fine.
And it was so nice to chat to you and just
Very welcome.
And good luck with everything.
Oh, well, thank you ever so much. Joy Amsterdam.
Thank you.